Ms. Thompson, Ms. Freeman, the two of you ladies are suing each other over a landlord-tenant situation that had the police come to your property multiple times. Ms. Thompson, this is your place that's being rented out, and you claim that the defendant owes you back rent of several $1,000s, and that she owes you a little bit over $500 for kicking down a door. Ms. Freeman, you claim that you told the plaintiff many times that you were unsafe in her home, that you should not have to pay any more rent, and that the plaintiff asked you to kick down the door because another tenant was locked out of their room, and so you shouldn't be held responsible for damage that you caused because she asked you to. You are also countersuing because you claim that she improperly raised your rent while you were there, and she did not provide Wi-Fi, so you would like to be reimbursed about $370 for the amount that you claim you've been unfairly put out of pocket. Ms. Thompson, this is your property?
Yes, it's an investment property that I own with my sister.
Okay, so you're living on the first floor.
Yes.
And you rent out 4 separate bedrooms on the second floor.
That's correct.
Okay. Ms. Freeman, tell us how you found Ms. Thompson's room to rent.
Well, I was actually about to be homeless. Well, not homeless, but I lost my job and I had to move from my apartment. And one of the pastors at my church ended up opening up a women's transitional housing with Niyah Thompson on the second floor. And she rented it out, and I was one of the females. It was 2 females that started out. I signed the lease with Deborah's house with Niyah Thompson, her sister over there, me, the other tenant, in Deborah's house, the founder.
All right, and this was done through a third-party organization? Okay. Is that all correct?
No.
Ms. Thompson? Okay, tell me.
There's no third-party organization. The only people that's collecting rent or leasing the property was my sister and myself.
Okay, there's no third-party organization involved whatsoever?
No.
She's just making this up?
Yeah.
All right, you're saying that this was an organization that...
I have a lease that I signed on December 1st with Deborah's house.
Yeah, let's look at that. There was, at the beginning of this tenancy, something, it's called a residential facility for young women who are participants in the Deborah House program.
Can I see that form?
Yeah, please, let's put it up on the screen.
This is for the house manager contract that Deborah wrote up, because as you can see, that's not my name, Niyah Thomas. She wrote it up because she wanted to start transitional housing with tenants.
Right.
Right.
Credibility is going to be a big issue here.
Right.
But when I asked you if she just made all this up, you said, yeah, she just made it all up. She didn't make it all up.
Okay.
All right, we're not starting off on a good foot. All right, Ms. Freeman, you thought you were doing something through a program. The program ended up falling through.
I was notified by Niyah, called me about a couple weeks until December and told me, oh, I'm no longer doing business with Deborah no more.
And she has a no contact order against her.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, you both would agree there has been a significant amount of conflict
Yes.
over the past 6 months. And I understand you have a number of videos documenting the conflict.
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and watch the plaintiff's videos to give us an idea of what was going on in this house.
Okay.
Bull, yo. Like, why would you, yo? Like, who does that? Like, why would you stick your fingers in my food? You better tell them what you did. You didn't do yes, you did. And that's why and that's the exact reason why she will not get a piece of rent from me.
What's going on?
I'm not the one who did nothing.
Hi, good morning. Good. Is it just you and this person here?
No, it was the man in there. He ate my dinner. You see, I gave it. He can have the rest of it. He got one more time to touch anything of mine, and nobody gonna have nowhere to live. Cause I'm burning this down. I ain't paying for. That's what I told the judge. I'm not paying for nothing.
Okay, so a lot of those videos were about food that was taken that you made?
Yeah, it was a day when I got home from work.
Right.
I set my food on the counter, and this has been going on since he moved in, touching people's stuff. Like, first of all, when he first moved in there.
This is another tenant. When you say he, he is another tenant.
Yes.
And you called the police because he took your food?
No, I didn't.
I called.
Niyah called
You
the
called
police.
the police.
I called the
Why?
Because I live on the first floor and I heard banging at 2:30 in the morning. I checked my front door, checked my back door, was nobody there. I checked the camera footage. At 2:30, as I showed in the evidence, the door was fine. By 2:37, the door is kicked in and there's food all over the door.